Okay, what's up? It's your boy Alexiobo, and I'm here with the video y'all been waiting for weeks. Thank you for all people who've supported me. There's something I'd like to talk about real quick. The text wrestling system. I didn't include this in the slideshow, so before we get in, I want to talk about it. Text wrestlings are a system of tolled or non-tolled express lanes going through the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. You can see them on I-635, I-35E, I-35W, State Highways 183, 114, and 121, and also Loop 12. Recently, these express lanes were expanded into downtown Dallas via the I-35 East Southern Gateway project. These ones are non-tolled and they're there to help alleviate traffic. There's also a deck park being built. So, all that being said, let's get into the video. Okay, so instead of generalizing it, I decided to be specific. To clarify, this is a 50-part series. I'm going to cover every state, every single one. I even started research on Florida. This might take years because content will be weekly because I have school and other responsibilities, and it takes a long time to make these videos. History. Okay, let's read this. Texas was always a big state. So when the National Highway Defense Act passed in 1956, added to the expansion of urbanization in the state of Texas. Unlike other states, Texas usually use different right-of-way when making these highways. They use existing U.S. highways and upgrade them to freeway standards, and added the interstate designation. This still does happen today, as most of I-69's route from Laredo to Texarkana is being built on the existing US 59. Instead of using new right-of-way, the first instead of using new right-of-way, the first interstate was built on was I-45, and it was built on US 75, which then was eliminated south of downtown Dallas and is only north. And during the late 1950s, there was a dispute on whether I-35 should go into Dallas or Fort Worth. This dispute was settled by having I-35 branch into two spurs of the route, called I-35E and I-35W. Two branches eventually joined back in Denton and Hillsborough. Right now, I-35 and its spurs are one of the most heavily routes under construction. But later on, many highways, like I-10, which you can see in Houston, a magnificent highway. Its interchange with the Grand Parkway is amazing. And also its interchange with the with Beltway 8 is magnificent. When rebuilt and expanded to meet modern highway standards. Okay, impact. Though the interstate system had many positive impacts, there are also many negative ones. There were also lots of displaced homes. Some of them were minority groups. Though this happened in East Dallas to build the R.L. Thornton Freeway, I-30. Some neighborhoods were displaced to make the highway. Though TxDOT is trying to make that right with the I-30 East Corridor project, which that will reconnect 11 streets and make a depressed freeway between Dolphin Road and downtown Dallas. I-10, the Katy Freeway, the East Freeway. I-10 has many names, but the interstate with the most mileage of all of Texas, going over 850 miles in Texas. But I-10 is mostly known for going through Houston, while it also goes through the states of El Paso and San Antonio. Houston, its portion in Houston is known for a variety of reasons. For starters, it is the widest point in the freeway and the world. The Katy Freeway at one point combines to a grand total of 26 lanes, frontage roads included. As the Katy Freeway, I-10 has some magnificent interchanges with the Sam Houston Tollway, Beltway 8, I-610, Texas 99, the Grand Parkway, and I-45. That one isn't so great, but we'll move on. The route goes east to San Antonio, crossing into Louisiana. I-69. The freeway is supposed to go from Laredo to Texarkana, while most of I-69 runs concurrent with US 59. In Victoria, the freeway splits into three branches until the border with Mexico. The branches known as I-69E, I-69C, and I-69W venture into the southern cities of Texas. Northward in Indiana, I-69's completion and will actually be finishing that state in the next coming years. Interstate Highway 20. I-20 goes through the southern parts of the Dallas and Fort Worth Metroplex and eastward goes into Louisiana, passing through Terrell, where it meets up with US 80, I-20's original route before rerouting, and passing through rural area, ends up going to Louisiana. Westward, however, I-20 goes through interchanges with I-635, US 175, I-45, I-35E, US 67, the President George Bush Tollway, State Highway 360, S- State Highway 183, I-35W, the Toll Park, the Chisholm Trail Parkway, US 83 and US 84. I-20 goes through Abilene and ultimately ends at I-20. I-20 continued. Recently, TxDOT launched a study on I-30's East Corridor to determine how to improve the mostly old and rural freeway. Though it goes through lots of rural areas, I-20 has a long distance in Texas spanning over 636 miles. Most of the freeway was built in the 1960s and 70s. Though I-20 was originally a turnpike that headed into downtown Dallas, it was eventually rerouted southeast to its current route. After I-635 southern end the I-20, the freeway becomes the LBJ Freeway for the next 30 miles. I-27. Okay, I-27 is a freeway that runs from Lubbock to Amarillo, passing through mostly urban areas and ending at I-40 in Amarillo. While there are plans to extend I-27 to Mexico as part of the Ports to Plains corridor that will go from Laredo all the way to Canada border, TxDOT has yet to give a date when construction is going to happen. Spur routes. Spur routes, or three-digit interstates, are highways, interstates that branch off a major interstate. For example, I-820 branches off I-20, hence the last two digits are 20. While most three-digit interstates go through urban areas and ending outside of it, I-635 is the most notorious for having the most traffic off any spur route in Texas, as it forms a semicircle running from Grapevine to Balch Springs. This is the one I travel the most as I live in Dallas County. Each major urban city in Texas has at least one spur route. Spur routes continued. For Dallas and Fort Worth, we have I-35E, I-35W, I-635, and I-820. Houston has I-610, a spur of I-10, which is a complete loop around the city of Houston. These spur routes intersect the main arterial roads in the county/city they serve. There are cases when spur routes run concurrent with the aforementioned parent highway. I-69 and I-495, the Capital Beltway, run concurrent in Maryland. More about that in my interstate video about Maryland coming in the next months. There's also a spur route for downtown Dallas, the unsigned I-35 345, which I addressed in another video, which runs for 1.4 miles and links I-45 and US 75 in Dallas. The longest of these spur routes in Texas is I-610, the 38-mile loop around the city of the interstate section of Houston. I-14, the Freeway, is currently only about 25 miles right now, as the section runs concurrent with US 190, as it's called the 14th Amendment Freeway, and its expanded designation is signed into law by Congress in 2021. Now, I-14 is going to be about 1.3 thousand miles and will go through 5 states, including Central Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. And okay, here's a conclusion. Yeah, this was shorter than lots of y'all expected. Me too. To be frank, TxDOT is doing an amazing job of maintaining the interstate system. Right now, there are many highways planned to cross these interstates, including Loop 9, Texas 170, the Eastern PGB extension, and the extension of the Grand Parkway in Houston. Currently, TxDOT is upgrading many freeways in need of it, and many projects are being planned and studied. As a last note, please watch out for next Friday, because if I'm able to have enough time, I will post the next video in this series about Florida. I'll see y'all next week. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and please because I will be working hard on the next video and it should be out in a week. I just have to become familiar with the freeways in Florida. Bye.